Hey, welcome back. Back on the Escalade today. Last week we put a wheel bearing on it and a CV axle, cleaned up that whole wheel well area, got all that looking real nice. Made the rest of the truck look terrible though. Also, we got the blower motor working again. It's blowing hot air now because the AC probably needs to be charged some. I was going to do that. I may actually take that to either my brother or my buddy and have them put it on the gauges and see what we got in it. It's definitely got some Freon in it because it kicks the compressor in and out. So probably didn't need much. May have them do that. I may not do it. But nonetheless, we got it blowing air again. We dug a giant rat's nest out of this cowl area and got all that back together. We did not get the windshield wiper arms back on it. They were in terrible shape when we painted them. They looked great, but they weren't dry. So it's actually been several days. I had the truck out on my property the other day and it started to rain while I was out there, so I had to make a sprint for the house because, you know, it was like torrential downpours. I don't want to be caught in that without any wipers, so we made it though. But yeah, I think in this video what we're going to do is try to get the wipers on it right quick. We're going to fix that door handle. The thing was, I mentioned it in the last video, it's broken off. I can get in and out with it, but nobody else can. So these door handles are terrible for braking. I don't know how many I've put on this truck since I've had it, but you know, I don't know. You just keep doing them, I guess. So nonetheless, we'll get that done. We're gonna do some other things too. We're definitely gonna clean this truck and like wash it. And I'll show y'all some of the damage that the paint has. This thing really needs paint bad. I know it may not look like it on the YouTube, but she's got some issues. But we ain't worried about that. She's a work truck, and that's what I'll use her for. And eventually, maybe someday we'll do something else. But right now, it's just fine. So, anyways, let's get to work and stop gabbing. Oh, I need to ask a favor of y'all. Will y'all do me a favor? Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment. Type anything in the comments. I don't care. I really like to try to get the algorithm for YouTube woke up and get me pushed out some. We need to grow this thing. We're doing pretty good, and I think, you know, I hope I'm entertaining. Y'all keep, you know, hundreds of you come every week to watch me. So I think maybe we can get more people involved. That'd be awesome. But anyways, I'd appreciate it if you did that. But let's get to work and put these arms on for the windshield wipers. I hung those wipers up in here the other day from the garage door. I was double check them, make sure the paint's good. Oh yeah, it's as expected. It's good and dry. I'm gonna pull them down and we'll see if we can get them back on the truck right quick. Well, I know I said that first thing we're gonna do is put these wiper arms on, but let me show you something right quick. See that spot right there? It might be tough for y'all to tell. I did not get enough paint on that, so I'm actually going to hang, same with the other one. I'm going to hang them back up and just shoot them again. And we'll wait. We'll do them eventually. Well, I threw a little paint on those arms. We'll let them dry for a few hours. Let's go ahead and jump into the door handle and get that on. I could get in, but evidently nobody else can. And yeah, got the stuff falling out. I haven't even cleaned up from last week. I've been working out of this thing again. I just, yeah, it's just a work truck. But I'm gonna clean it up right quick. Let's get the door panel off so we can get this handle fixed. We may go ahead and look at the back door handles too. Both of them are loose. I'm hoping I might be able to save them and not have to replace them. I may actually have another door handle. I bought a bunch of stuff to fix things on this truck 3 years ago, and I just don't know where it all is anymore. So nonetheless, let's get this. It has been quite some time since I've taken this door panel off. Let's see if I can remember how. If I remember right, these things pop out and this comes out. Heck, I don't remember. For device here, there we go. Yeah, that pulls out and they just pull up. That takes them off, and then this little cover here pops out. This pops up, if I'm not mistaken. I don't ever label any of this because it'll only go back one way. But maybe you need to label it. I don't know. I can't remember if that pops off right here behind the handle or not, but we're going to see. Yep, sure does. Well, there's two bolts, maybe two bolts back there. 10 mil. So there's one here, and one up there. We'll pop those off, see if we can get it out right. And then this little triangle piece. Holy moly. Should probably be using plastic pry tools, but here we are. Next thing we're going to do is pop the actual door panel out just a little bit, and then it'll pull right up. Well, maybe. There we go. It up. The only thing left is the door handle where it attaches. And then there's a light for the courtesy lights up here. Just unplug it. Maybe. There we go. Door panel's loose. And the little thing just has a ball that goes inside the door handle and two little ears that comes right off. I've been in here before, for sure. Let's see here. Make some room. Should be good enough. There's two 10mm bolts inside here, and if I remember right, they're a bear to get to. But let's see. I think I can reach my hand up, yeah, and get them. Sure enough, I'm gonna have to get a pair of pliers to go on the other side to hold the plastic. It's actually broken. I'll be right back. Go ahead and just get us a pair of pliers on that. Ta-da. So now that we got it locked out there, there's actually a hole right here. Put a 10 mil right through there. Same here for access, but let's see if we can get this off here. Easy peasy. Number two. Here's the new Dorman handle. It actually comes with everything you need. It actually has a new plastic gasket too, which is nice. But I'm actually going to go through here. I want to clean this up before we put this handle on. So the door lock rod, or whatever you call it, make sure it's on the inside. You can actually pull it over into this larger area and then push that on. Just kind of goes like that. Get her where she's supposed to be, and we'll just lock her down. Get both your front and back bolts started and then tighten it all up. I'm using a electric ratchet. I'm going to get it close and then use the actual ratchet part and finish it that way. one. And two. Well, let's see if we can shut it and open it again. Beautiful. Much better. Here's the best part. Yeah, that's good. Putting the door panel on is basically everything I just did in reverse. Just get it done. Gonna move to this one and fix it, but then I looked at it, definitely broke. I don't know if I bought another one or not. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't use this door a whole lot, but let's see. I'm gonna go take a quick look and just see if I can find another door handle. If not, we'll just leave that one be. Let's look on the other side. Driver's door is fine, I already knew that, but this one also, I just think it's loose. You can hear the threads. So we're going to take this door panel off and tighten this one up, and I'm going to see if I got another door handle for that other side. Oh, that's good. All right. Tighten her up a little bit. Let's see how she does now. That's better. Throw this door panel back on. It's good to go. Found one, but it says front right. So is the rear right and the front right the same? I don't know. Did I put the front right on the rear and the rear on the front? Maybe is that what's happening? I don't know. But I am going to pull it off of here. We're going to compare this one to that one, and if they're the same, we'll just stick it on and go on. Well, I got it apart, and sure enough, they are different, which means I'm 100% sure that the one I put on the front is supposed to go on the back. So I'm gonna pull the front one off and switch it out and put this one on, and then we'll put the new one from the front onto the back, and we'll be good to go. I ain't even gonna show that. We're just gonna do it. 15 minutes later, and here we are. Boom, both of them are fixed. If you're wondering what's the difference, it's the little arm that actually pushes down. The front one's shorter than the back one. So we'll throw these away. We're done with them. I still have both the door panels off, and they're not in terrible shape. They're actually, not beat up too bad. But the speaker grills on both of them are kind of rusty and crusty. I think I'm going to actually try to pop those out and sand them just a little bit. We'll put a little paint on them before we put them back in, just to dress it up. You know, we're in it this far. Why not go ahead and fix it? These things come out even easier than I thought. It's just got little tabs on the back. Bend them over, they slide right out. So I'm going to get the other one out and hit them both with some 220s, knock the rust that's on them off, and we'll put a little paint on them before we put them back in. I tried 220 on them first. It really didn't do much. I hit it with a wire brush. I don't know if you can tell, but it seems to be doing way better than that piece of sandpaper was. So if you're cleaning yours, get you a wire brush and make short work of it. I'm going to finish this up and then we'll get some paint on it. I went ahead and pulled the other two out of the driver's side. That way all of them will match. I'll hit them all with that wire brush. I think they're good to go. But let's see. I'm going to hit them with some satin black. Definitely looks better. I don't know if y'all will be able to even tell, but I sure can. Oh yeah, that's much better. All right, we'll let that dry. We'll put those back in. Well, the next thing we're going to replace is the fog lights. The turn signal and all is kind of built together. I think some of the lower levels don't get a fog light, it's just a turn signal, but mine's got the fog lights, and I'd like for them to be able to work better. You see how dirty the inside of that one is? And the corners broke right there. I'm not sure how that happened. It probably wasn't when I was dragging this thing through the mud and whatever. That couldn't have been it. But anyways, I bought some new ones. And all this stuff I have had just for years and years and years, just sitting around. So it's nice to put all the stuff in. But here's what we got to put in it. Look at that. Look at that. So I'm going to drag myself underneath the truck, see if I can get the bolts out of it and slide it out. This thing even come with new bulbs. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I'm sure it wasn't a lot. Good part. Look at that. Yeah. What an improvement. I'm sure that wasn't but $100, $150, $200. I don't know, but man, was that worth it. That looks so nice. Let's go ahead and get the other one done right quick. Man, that looks good. I'm so happy I finally did this. I got the emergency flashers on. They're working. The fog lights are working. You might notice that we don't have a headlight over here. Yeah. Let's talk about it. So the headlights in these things are HIDs. Really early HIDs. And they have like a ballast resistor in them. The ballast resistors go bad all the time. They get hot. and a lot of people will convert them over to LEDs. I think I have a set of LEDs for this. Like everything else, I bought a lot of stuff all at once, and I'm going to look and see if I can find them. We'll see if we can get the other headlight working and replace this one too, and these headlights are nasty. So they're extremely dirty, and a lot of it is just dirt and would probably clean up fairly decent. I sanded and clear coated these. This is actually one of the very first videos I ever made. It's not on the channel. I may put in a clip right here if I can find one. And if I don't find one, you won't get a clip. But I want to pull these headlights out to do the conversion. And they're kind of a pain to get out, but you can get them out. The shop manual says you have to take the bumper off. You can get them out without that, but they ain't easy. I think that's going to be our next thing we look at. And if y'all are wondering what all these battle scars are, let me tell you. This one, right there, I'd had the truck 3 days. My wife took it to Target, I think. Pulled right into a ballast, or a ballard, that's what they're called. Those yellow poles. And then, not a month later, somebody forced me off the road, and I hit a barrel, one of those orange barrels, and we might have been out in the woods, and I caught a rock on that one. I know what happened to that one. That's also why this one was full of mud. I came and looked in my cabinet here. I have two different sets of lights. They are both the standard HIDs. We're gonna use the eeny, meeny, miny, those. We're gonna use these. They have the same lumen count and all that. They're 6,000K for the color temperature or whatever. So we're just gonna put one in and see if it matches. I'm pretty sure that I have 6,000s in there now. And that's what both of these are, because that's the color I like for headlights and fog lights and stuff. Just a personal opinion. I don't like yellow lighting, so we'll go ahead and take these out and see if we can't get one of them in. Also, I'm going to show you these, but also on the back of the headlight, there's actually a ballast too. And that ballast, I'll drop some stuff, could be bad, I don't know, but first we're going to put a headlight in it and just see what it does. If that works, great. If it don't, that's fine too. See, these headlights, kind of show you in there. That's what they look like. They have a little metal box on the back that I don't actually know how it works. It's beyond my pay grade, but whatever's in those tends to go bad. And then the ballast on the back of the headlight, which stores all the energy, I think, they also get hot and go bad. But let's see if we can't get one of these in, pop the hood, see if we can get one in. I might be able to do it without having to take the headlight out. If I can, great. If not, we'll take the headlight out. Got the hood popped, come in here and took a look, and I remembered correctly. Down in there is where it goes. You can't reach it at all. So we're going to take, I think it's this bolt and this bolt out. And I think it clips at the bottom. It's been so long, I have to fiddle with it. But we'll get that headlight out and get that changed. We may take that whole headlight completely out, sand it, and clear it. That's what we're going to do. See if you'll be able to see it here. There's a little glass bowl black inside of that. Yeah, I don't think you can tell, but it's definitely smoked. And let me show you what, it's supposed to be clear, crystal clear, so let me show you one of those. Here's one of the new ones. It is clear. Let me stick that in there, see if this works. If it does, great. If it don't, great. Whatever. But if I have to buy a ballast resistor for the bottom of this, I'm not going to do that. I will actually convert it over to LED. I meant to do that instead of ordering these two forever ago, I guess, but whatever. Here we go. Also, this thing is keyed, so it'll only go on one way, so you can't index it wrong. All right, let's see if this works now. Well, it doesn't work. So that probably means the ballast or whatever's on the bottom is probably bad. Whatever, I don't care. I ain't fixing it, but I'll show it to you. It's this little guy right down here on the bottom. They're usually, I think they used to be $100, $120 a piece. I think I might do an LED conversion on it here before long. It'll start getting darker and earlier, and we're going to need to dry this thing in the dark. So this will do for now, but yeah, I'll have to order some stuff. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I've got a piece of 220 that I'm going to hit these with, which might be a little aggressive, so I'm going to start it down here and see how it feels. And then I've got 615, definitely go 6, but I may go 15 on these. And if it looks like they might polish, I may polish them, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up just clearing them again. The clear coat works really well for, for what it is. I'm just using spray, spray can clear. If you clear these with true automotive grade clear, they last a long time. I don't have any, and I ain't going to go get any. Well, it's been a minute. The last thing you all saw me do was I started sanding the headlights. I was going to buff them, but guess what? I didn't do it. I sanded it a little bit and ended up putting it back in. It's been, I don't know, 2 weeks since I last worked on the truck. I had to use it, so I threw the headlight back in it and one of the windshield wiper arms back on it. I still got the other one to do, and took it out and drove it because, I was just using it. While I was doing that, the rear brakes have been making a lot of noise for a while, and now they're sounding terrible. So I actually went ahead and bought some rear brake pads and rotors for this thing. This thing has slotted rotors, and to the best of my knowledge, you can't get a slotted rotor turned, and these are going to be bad. So I think that's actually what we're going to do. We're going to skip the headlight deal right now. I did buy sandpaper to sand it. That's actually why I quit the last time, was I sanded on it, and the sandpaper I had wasn't cutting it. So I got some more sandpaper. We might get around to that today, but for sure today we're going to pull the rear wheels and tires off this thing, change the rear brakes, clean all that up, and put that back together. So at least we get something done. Let's get to work and see what we can get done. I don't know. I already broke this thing loose. Let's see. Golly. This wheel, I hope we can say, I hope it's okay. I don't think it is, though. I don't know. This on the outside is definitely rust, but I think it's from the metal that this rotor's given off, and it's soaked into this wheel. I just hope we can get it off of there. Let me go get an extension. I'll be right back. There ain't nothing left of this. I knew it'd been bad for a long time, but take a look. Oh man, we may need a caliper or even a caliper bracket on this side. Who knows? We'll see. That is bad news. I'm glad I got those rotors yesterday. Listen, I just had a feeling, and it'd been making noise, but it hadn't even been that loud. I couldn't hear it over that front wheel bearing, but here we are. Whew, man, I quit driving it, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago. It's been like 2 weeks since I had made the last part of this video. It was just making so much noise, I just thought to myself, it ain't safe, so I'm just going to stop driving it. Yeah, so I've got to get it fixed, whatever. And that's one of the reasons I needed to go earn extra money, is so I get all this stuff fixed on this truck, because I need this truck. I've been driving the minivan all the time. I love my town and country. Love it. Actually, last week I did a bunch of work on it, new motor mounts and stuff. I didn't make any video on it, though, because nobody cares about watching videos of a minivan, and I get it. It's fine. But, yeah, let's get this rotor off here. We're going to take a good look at it. We may have to buy more parts. We'll find out here in just a minute. All right, let's see if we can get these slide pins to break loose. Or see what's going to happen to us. That one looks like it's going to be all right. Nope. I think it's turned. I don't know. There we go. Oh yeah, just fine. Let's see if we can get the bottom one broke free. Yeah, it broke free too. I don't know if the bottom slide's any good, but at least the bolt broke free, so we can get it apart. I'm going to get it all apart and we'll take a look at it. We'll see if I can pry the bracket and all off this guy. Oh yeah. Got all the bolts out of it. Yeah, that sounded good. I ain't feeling good about this caliper, but we'll see. But my goodness. It's the outer pad still had a little friction material left. Inner pad, not so much. As you would expect. Nothing but metal. You should never buy a vehicle from that is a daily driver for somebody that knows about cars, because chances are they will let stuff go, or I sure do, that normal people would fix. Alright, let's I'm gonna see if I can get the caliper and bracket apart right quick. We'll just go from there. See if the slide pins will come out. There's one. That one's fine. So of course we'll have to grease it. But what about the other one? It will move some, so we got hope. Oh yeah, we'll have to get a boot for it, but that ain't no big deal. Before we go any further, let's see if we can get that to push back. I don't feel good about it, but we'll see. I have opened the brake master cylinder reservoir, so we ain't fighting the system. Let's see if it'll push in at all. No, it's going right in. I would have just... There was no, in my mind, I was thinking, there is no way at all that's going to be okay. That one slide was a little stuck, but it wasn't terrible, so I don't know what was, what made the back wear so unevenly. Typically, that's because it won't slide back on its own. The caliper itself is moving beautifully, so we'll clean up those slides and put all this back together. I think it'll be all right, or it won't. It ain't got no choice but one or the other. All right, let's see if we can pull the rotor off. Yeah, we'll be all right. Parking brake shoes are bad, but that's okay. I don't ever use a parking brake. If I used it, I'd probably do something about it, but look how thin that is. Whew. You should not ever let it go that long. I'm glad I stopped when I did. Whatever. Stuff happens in life. But look at the backside. She was donezo. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the inner fender well and all this stuff. Spray some black paint in this, clean that wheel. While that's kind of drying, we'll pull the other side apart, see what it looks like. Make sure I don't need any parts that I already didn't have. And if we do, we can call the parts store. They should deliver it to me. Shouldn't be a big deal. But we'll get this cleaned up and looking a little better in here. And the wheel cleaned up because, good grief, it's awful. And we'll go from there. Let's knock some of the loose off the frame. Got some simple green in my old purple power bottle. I'm going to shoot the wheel well real good and clean it out. I'll wipe it down. We'll hit the frame with the black paint. I'll be happy. Good enough for me. Give the old rattle can some rattling. Yeah, let's spray some of this stuff down. Our high-dollar masking paper out. You really care about your paint, it's in great shape. Maybe this isn't the way for you. It'll do for me though. Before we go any further, I'm going to go to the other side and we're going to tear it down just to make sure we don't need a caliper or something crazy over there, because if we do, now's the time. I'm going to go ahead and blow this side apart. I'll bring y'all in once I get it apart, but you just saw me take it apart, so let's do this side and we'll see what we find on it. Wheel doesn't look as bad. I expect this rotor not to be eat up, but you have to replace them both. If you're replacing rotors, especially slotted rotors, just replace both sides at the same time. Got the wheel pulled off. Yeah, this one was just fine. I really think that the other side, just that one pin was a little stuck, and just being a little stuck was enough to not let it slide in and out, which just ate that inner part of the rotor off. So we'll get it fixed. Yeah, this thing still had a little bit of pad left, front and rear. It's hard to see, but I'm going to pull it apart. Alright, I got her all apart. No surprises. The parking brake, just like the other side. I got the caliper hung up there. The slides for the caliper bracket were both fairly free. I'm going to have to order those boots, so I'll probably end up replacing all four of them just while we got it apart. And That was what was left on the pads. Not much. Not much. But nothing like the other side. I knew that it needed pads just because of how much I'd driven it and, you know, mileage, that sort of thing. But I'm going to go ahead and wipe out this. I'm going to put in an order for the rubber boots and some more paint, and we'll get back to it. Alright, so I got a hold of Parts House. They're going to get me the parts, but they didn't have the wheel seals, wheel pin seals in stock, so they'll be here eventually. They're on their way with them. I think 3:30 is when they're supposed to be in. They're going to deliver them for me. They're also going to bring me some wheel cleaner right quick. We're going to clean these wheels. I'm a little worried about that one really brown looking wheel. That's rust, where the iron from that rotor had, you know, wore down and got on the wheel and it was rusted. So we'll try a good quality wheel cleaner. I can't remember what brand I even got. I was like, just send me one of the good ones. So anyways, we'll give it a shot, see what that does. We'll get all the wheels and tires and all cleaned up. They didn't have any satin black at the parts store. That's what I put on the other side. So this side might get flat black, because I think I have some in this cabinet in front of me. We'll find out. Yeah, so we're kind of in a holding pattern. It is not even noon yet, and it is super hot out. It's supposed to be upper 90s, I think, today. So I'd like to finish this up today so I can drive this truck again. I've got to drive this truck again, so we have to finish today. But anyways, I'll let you know when we get some stuff in. We'll get back to work. Wheel cleaner came in. It is Chemical Guy's Diablo wheel cleaner is what I ended up with. So we're going to give it a shot. I don't know if it's any good. I've never used it, but let's see. This wheel is super corroded, so with brake dust cleaner, let's see. I'll just soak part of it down here and we'll just give it a scrubbing in a minute. This probably isn't the best way to use it. We're just going to soak it down though. I got her pretty soaked. I'm going to let it dwell just a little bit, and we're going to scrub it and then rinse it off and just see what it looks like. I've let it dwell for a little bit, but it says for really dirty wheels, you should scrub them with a brush. I think this is definitely a really dirty wheel. I may have to find something smaller to scrub it with. We'll hose her down and keep it going. It says don't let it dry, and it's drying out pretty quick. I don't know, guys. I'm less than impressed, especially how well the front one cleaned up. Just some simple green. Well, it didn't do very well. I'm going to move this over to the shade, and let's try some simple green to see what it does. I got the simple green in my purple power container. Let's just see. Just take a spot and just clean just this area here. Nah, what am I saying? Spray it all down. Find something else to scrub that with. It's not this. This doesn't fit in there very well. Looks like it's cut pretty good. Rinse that off. Well, it's the next day. They finally brought me those parts, but it's pretty late. I spent way too long cleaning that one wheel. It ain't done yet. We're gonna polish it. It's bad. Nobody to blame but myself. But I did run out to Rural King this morning and got some satin paint. We're gonna sand down this other side right quick and put some paint on it. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and clean that wheel and just get that back together on that side, so it's just done and we can move on. Once we get this other wheel together, we'll slap the other side back together. So that's the plan. Unfortunately, I don't feel well today, so we'll see how this goes. It's also going to be 90 something again today. It's ridiculous. I'm completely over the heat. Decided to hit this caliper too, so we'll put a little paint on it, but get the rust off of it first. So this is the bracket for the passenger side. It's the one with the bad boot. It's this one. I hit it with a wire brush already. I'm going to knock these off. You just got an edge right here. You just take a hammer and a screwdriver or a punch, and they should come out. And the other ones just tap in there and they're fine. The inside of these really need to be cleaned out. I got some quad-aught steel wool, and I'm just going to put it around the end of the screwdriver, put it in there, clean it out some. The pins are disgusting. I've got some brake cleaner and the steel wool, which we'll clean them up, get them where they slide really well, and grease them, put them back in. This is the driver's side one. I went ahead and painted the front side, and it looks pretty darn good. The back side, could use some more. We're not going to do it though. I'm going to put a little seal glide in these and knock these little caps on. Then I'm just going to go ahead and reassemble this, and we'll get on with it. I want you to look at this. It's got adhesive on the back of these to help stick to the caliper to keep it, pull, so it pulls it back evenly. That's ingenious. Duralast Gold. I ain't paid for this, but my goodness, that is genius. It really is. Also, squealer. That's what I always called these. This thing is supposed to make it squeal. I always put that on the back. Definitely looks a lot better up in here and all this. So got one more thing I want to fix before we clean the wheel and put it back on, and it is this. The wheel flare on this side, by the way, there's none on the other side yet, but we might be curing that here in a minute. Doesn't quite push up far enough to hold that in. There's a gap, so I'm going to pull. There's like 3 bolts here. We're going to pull those over, and then we'll drill a few holes, and we'll put it back together and slide it in and tighten it back up, and hopefully that'll hold it. Can't hurt, right? Well, I broke that bottom bolt when I was tightening it. It snapped right off. I don't have another bolt, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. It's actually really, really tight. That sucked this in really well. I don't think that's going to come out of there now. So, fixed. I'm going to clean this wheel. I've got it sitting over there in the garage. I'm just going to clean it. It should be super quick to clean compared to the one on the other side. So, I just want to get it done and back on the truck, and we'll call this side finished. Once again, trying the Diablo wheel cleaner. This one's not nearly as bad, so I'm just going to soak her down. Then we'll scrub it. And we'll rinse it down. Hopefully that's enough. We don't have to go any further than that. Well, yesterday I finished this side up, got the wheel and tire back on it, as you see. And it's all polished up, and put a little slickum on the tire. It looks nice. I'm very happy with how this side turned out. Let me show you what I did on the other side. I went ahead and just threw all this together. You saw me do the other side. No big deal. Everything went together great. Well, I've been editing all this video, and I've got y'all to the point in the editing that makes for a good video length, and I can't do much more. I've got a lot of uncut video still. I thought it was all going to be one video. Not so much. There'll be one more video on this truck. Good news is I should have the next video out next week. Shouldn't be a big deal. But yeah, so I'm sure you can probably see the truck behind me. But yeah, I hate to cut y'all off like that, kind of in the middle of something and leave you on a cliffhanger, but here we are. So anyways, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Please come back next week and we'll get back on this truck and see if we can't get it finished out. I do intend to take the truck on a test drive in the next video on a place I've never been. It's an off-road type of situation. I don't think it's anything crazy. I think it's just mostly gravel, but I want to go test it out and see how the road is. Anyways, we'll go do that in the next video. But anyways, thanks for watching, like I said, and I'll catch you on the next video.